Good afternoon and welcome to the August 6, 2025 Planning Commission meeting. I'm Larissa McKelvey Day. I will now call the meeting to order and lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Zoom webinar participation is available for members of the public. The Zoom webinar ID and link are available on the posted agenda on the city website. May I please have a roll call?
Commissioner Rocamora?
Present.
Commissioner Ruck?
Present.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
Here.
Commissioner Purnell?
Here.
Chairperson McKelvey Day?
Present.
And we have Commissioners Almanza Larios and Meeks absent.
We also have the staff introductions.
Ira Robles, Administrative Aide.
Tom Wiles, Senior Planner.
Lisa Brenton, Community Development Director.
Courtney Grossman, Planning Manager.
Welcome, everyone. For public comments, there generally are limited to 2 minutes per speaker. The chair may further limit the time for public comments depending on the agenda schedule. Are there any comments from the public regarding items not on today's agenda? Welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, Commissioners. Luis Chago Juarez for Building Healthy Communities. Was here, wanted to just present ourselves, myself and a partner, Nidia Soto, with Building Healthy Communities, and express our excitement over what our community was able to achieve in the month of June, from June 3rd, when the announcement of the repeal of the ordinance for the rent stabilization ordinance was announced or was enacted. That was on June 3rd. We participated in a referendum effort under the collective Protect Salinas Renters. And in less than 30 days, we were able to collect 10,607 signatures. That was quite a feat to be able to engage residents one-on-one and get their support for 53% of the population of Salinas that are renters. And so we were able to turn those in on July 3rd, and those packets went on to the county. The county is now still in the process of verifying those signatures, and we're waiting for that verification to be complete on August 15th, Friday, August 15th. And we just, as representatives of Protect Salinas Renters, as well as Building Healthy Communities, Salinas Thriving Neighborhoods, we are looking forward to communication and more conversations with commissioners and the rest of our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments for items not on today's agenda? Okay, are there any on Zoom? Zoom can use a raised hand feature.
None on Zoom.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to consent. ID number 25-328, approval of minutes from June 18th, 2025 meeting. Are there any questions or comments from the commissioners? Commissioner Rocamora?
No comment.
Commissioner Ruck?
No comment.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
Questions or comment?
Commissioner Purnell?
Questions or comments?
And I have none. Is there a motion with a second?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of June 18th, 2025.
Second.
With a motion from Commissioner Ruck and a second from Commissioner Purnell, we will have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Rocamora?
Yes.
Commissioner Ruck?
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
Yes.
Commissioner Purnell?
Yes.
Chairperson McKelvey Day?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Annual election of Planning Commission Chairperson and Vice Chairperson. Are there any nominations from the commissioners for Chairperson?
I would like to nominate Larissa McKelvey.
Any others? Let's see, is there a second, I should say, then?
Second.
With a motion from Commissioner Ruck and a second from Commissioner Gutierrez, we will have a roll call vote for Larissa to be the chairperson.
Commissioner Rocamora,
Yes.
Commissioner Ruck,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez,
Yes.
Commissioner Purnell,
Yes.
Chairperson McKelvey Day.
Yes, of course.
Motion passes.
Are there any nominations from the commissioners for vice chairperson?
Yes, I personally would like to nominate Carissa Purnell.
Second that motion again.
Second. Are there any other motions? Okay, with a motion from Commissioner Ruck and a second from Commissioner Gutierrez for Commissioner Purnell to be vice chairperson, can we have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Rocamora,
Yes.
Commissioner Ruck,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez,
Yes.
Commissioner Purnell,
Yes.
Chairperson McKelvey Day.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, so now the next one is the General Plan Steering Committee Planning Commissioner appointments. The Planning Commission appointee to the General Plan Steering Committee is currently vacant, and Commissioner Purnell is the alternate. If changes are required, proceed with the request for nominations. Okay. Are there any nominations from the commissioners for the primary appointment to the General Plan Steering Committee? Well, I would like to raise my hand that I'd like to be that person.
I'd like to nominate Larissa to be our general plan steering commissioner appointee.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And then with a motion from Commissioner Purnell and a second from Commissioner Ruck for Larissa to be the General Plan Steering Committee appointment, or I should say Planning Commissioner appointment for the General Plan Steering Committee, can we have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Rocamora,
Yes.
Commissioner Ruck,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez,
Yes.
Commissioner Purnell,
Yes.
Chairperson McKelvey Day.
Yes.
Motion passes.
And are there any nominations for commissioners for an alternate to the General Plan Steering Committee? I'll nominate Purnell.
I'll second.
Okay, with the motion from Commissioner Larissa McKelvey Day and a second from Commissioner Gutierrez for Commissioner Purnell to be the alternate, can we please have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Rocamora,
Yes.
Commissioner Ruck,
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez,
Yes.
Commissioner Purnell,
Yes.
Chairperson McKelvey Day.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, moving on to public hearings. ID number 25-295, conditional use permit 2024-065, request to expand an existing convenience store with a Type 20 off-sale ABC license into an existing vehicle repair bay located at 201 Monterey Street on the mixed-use Central City Overlay, Downtown Core Overlay, MX-CC-DC zoning district. Thomas Wiles, Senior Planner, will present this item.
Thank you very much, Chairperson Day, Commissioners. The application is being requested by, Myra, could you change that? Okay, thank you. No, that's the, yeah, thank you. The application is being requested by Jay Zapata of ZProp and Sherry Olson of PLRC. The property owner is Christopher Davitt, with the property as the applicant is part of the project, has provided a support petition of approximately 252 signatures and has also provided a PowerPoint which they have emailed to the Commission. The next slide, please. The proposal is to expand a 438 square foot existing store, convenience store with gas pumps located at the southeast corner of Monterey and Gavilan Streets, East Gavilan Streets. The proposal would be to change an existing 802 square feet of vehicle repair, which is located within the building, and convert that into as a part of the convenience store use. The proposal is also to construct a kitchen on site, as well as convert and expand existing storage areas located on the south and eastern portion of the buildings. Also some exterior work. As part of the proposal, there is an existing Type 20 ABC license for beer and wine for off-sale. That would need to be extended from the northern portion of the property to the opposite side. And next slide, please. The application right now, the project is located in an area of undue concentration due to crime and number of outlets. Concerning the outlets, it's located in Census Tract 13. Currently, California ABC allows for 2 licenses. Per ABC records, they show that in Census Tract 13, there are 18 active licenses. However, looking at the ABC records, they have not updated it to the census tract, and many of them, they include Star Market in Census Tract 13, which is not. But looking at city records, there are actually 8 active licenses in Census Tract 13, including the existing license, which is still undue concentration per number of outlets. However, since this is an existing off-sale alcohol-related use, it would not increase the number of outlets and increase issues due to undue concentration due to number of outlets because it is existing. It would not increase the number. Concerning crime, it is over in terms of the police reporting district, and in the police reporting district, and that is, it's in Police Reporting District 132, and that the area is above the average. It was 118 is the average for PRD, Police Reporting District 132, and 73.43 is the average. Which would have undue concentration of 88.12. Per a memorandum, though, dated July 21st, 2025, the police department does not object to approval of the conditional use permit subject to following recommendations, such as the digital surveillance system, ample lighting, and posting for trespassing, and enforceability by the police department, which have been made a part of the terms and conditions of the CUP approval document. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission approve a resolution finding the proposed project exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act per Section 15332, infill development projects of the CEQA guidelines, affirm the findings and approve conditional use permit 2024-065. Are there any questions of staff at this time?
Are there any questions from the commissioners to Mr. Wiles or any members of city staff regarding this presentation? Commissioner Rockamora?
No questions.
Commissioner Ruck?
I do have some questions, thank you. So we have to declare that a public convenience or necessity would be served by the issuance of this permit, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Also, is this going to expand the alcohol holding capacity of the new store?
I think it would be about the same. That would be a question, because if you go back.
The applicant could answer?
That, but yeah, because it's going to go from right now it's on the north part behind where the counter's at, and it goes to the opposite end, which is on the south. And fortunately, we don't have the laser pointer here, but it would be about pretty much the same, but I would also defer that to the applicant.
Okay, that's all for now. Thank you.
Any questions, Commissioner Gutierrez?
Yeah, so, but the overall footprint is not going to change, right? So what they're
Yes,
doing
it's within the same footprint.
is within the same, yeah. Okay. All right, I think that's the only question I had, but
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea to get rid of that garage already and do something
Yeah,
a little more productive and up to date.
Any questions, Commissioner Purnell?
Is there an augmentation of parking that's going to take place, or is the assumption that all increased traffic will potentially just be on foot?
Well, they have parking on site. The thing is that the property is located in what we call Assemblyville, AB 2097, and because of that, off-street parking cannot be required as per state law.
So the footprint is going from 800
But
to
it's going to
1,200.
remain the same footprint. It's not going to increase floor area.
So it says it's going from 800 to 1,200. That's just like the acquisition of the garage space to now become part of the retail space.
Yeah.
And is the alley going to be impacted at all? Is there because my understanding is the alley is a thoroughfare that's behind that property? Where there's
Well,
like
there's
Sam's School of Music and...
Well, there's an alley behind there, and the main entrance will be from the Monterey Street entrance. And actually, I believe with the garage that there is exit coming onto the alley. So actually, in that area, it may actually lessen traffic because right now the The repair area accesses, partially accesses from the alley. So the main entrance will be from Monterey Street entrance.
And then the entrances and exits, I know the one that drops off to Gabalon is in pretty bad shape. Are there any improvements that are going to be done to the actual facility, or this is all interior?
A lot of it's interior. They're doing some exterior work to the building.
Thank you.
And then I'm asking a question to clarify. So this is already existing. Because what's triggering it coming to commission is because they are now expanding, so that's a requirement?
Well, what they're doing is because they're expanding the convenience store use, they're removing the vehicle repair, they're changing the location of where they're selling the alcohol.
Okay, so it's just
right
like moving from one area to another?
to the opposite, but it's going from the north side of the building to the south side.
Okay, thank you. That was my question. Are there any public comments regarding this item? Or comments from the applicant? Is the applicant here?
Good evening, Chair and members of the commission. My name is Sherry Olson. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, and Tammy is here with me, and she is part of the setup.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Tammy Rozga. I'm assisting the clients with their project store design and project management. So we'll have an opportunity to share our deck and give you some of the visuals and answer some of the questions that you brought to the table thus far.
Yeah. So we're really excited about this project. We feel that it's going to be a good fit in the community by getting rid of the garage portion of it and adding more food into the market itself, as well as a King Chicken food department where they'll be able to come in, the pedestrians will be able to come in, customers will be able to come in and pick up a complete meal and be able to take it home. So we are increasing the overall floor space so we can add more of those food groups in there. So we think it's a win-win situation for everybody. Going to some of the questions, there is 5 parking spaces on site. So the footprint of itself is going to be inside the existing structure. So nothing's expanding outside of that existing structure. So everything will remain intact there. We're doing a lot of remodeling on the exterior. So if you pull up the screens, I don't know where they are, but you can see the exterior beautifications that we're doing to the building itself. So it's gonna really enhance that whole corner itself and really make a difference in that community. So we're really excited about that program. We will have a lot of security measures inside. There's like 16 cameras on the inside. There's about 14 cameras on the exterior of the building. And we've got like a POS system on the interior, which will capture all the sales of alcohol. We've been selling there for many years without any violations. We've got a good working relationship with the police department. And we felt that with the lockable cooler doors, and we're just moving the exact same 4 cooler doors just to the other side of the store. So we're not increasing our alcohol footprint at all. We're just relocating it to be able to bring in more food items into the market itself and give it a better look and a better fit in the community. Tammy might want to add some things to it.
Yes, I would. Thank you. If you wouldn't mind just going back to that first slide. Perfect. This will give you guys an opportunity to take a look at what the site looks like today on slide 2, the existing facility slide. Thank you. So we're operating a very robust gas station there. We've really been focused on listening to the consumer feedback, who's asked us for more food and beverage programs such as fresh coffee, fountain, fresh food programs. As Sherry mentioned, we're adding the Chicken King, which is a whole meal solution, fresh chicken, biscuits, side dishes, so a customer can come in and grab a whole meal and take it home with them. Well, in the stores, we'll also be expanding the product assortment throughout. So today we've got this gas station and a very small snack shop on the very next screen. You'll see that on the left. So we've got a very small footprint in there currently. We have 2 doors serving our customers with alcohol, and the rest is non-alcoholic beverages with a host of snacks and other products. And then to the right, you'll see a snippet of the garage bay where we're currently servicing vehicles. Moving down to the next slide, we just wanted to give you an idea of what our vision is for the exterior. We will be submitting a separate application for the signage permit. Beautiful exterior design. We're actually changing the name. We're calling it the Fast Lane to tie into our theme of, really focusing on customers coming in not only for fuel, but coming into the store. The next slide shows you the interior renderings. These are actual renderings that we plan to implement at the store. All new finishes, wall tile, beautiful metal cabinetry with laminate on them to get a more elevated look, pendant lighting. We're going to have an open ceiling concept there. So it's going to be aesthetically pleasing and really a standout in the community. And then on slide 10, I do want to mention, as what we've all been talking about, is that location of the alcohol. So you saw in the small snack shop, we have a couple doors over there currently. We're just going to be moving the alcohol to the position of the new walk-in cooler. This walk-in cooler is not for guests to enter. It's for customer or for employees to stock the cooler from behind, but there's no customer access into that cooler. So we're actually going to have two new doors to serve beer and wine. We're keeping the same square footage, which is what we have in the store today. Because again, the full concept and goal and vision for this project is to expand with fresh foods and more product offerings for the local community.
Yeah, so the square footage will not be changing at all. I just wanted to add that the walk-in cooler is not only having storage for the beer and wine, but it's for milk, dairy products, and food to keep them fresh.
And I think the last point that I really want to emphasize is being that, we are removing the garage, we're making some environmentally friendly improvements to the community, removing the hydraulic hoists and so on and so forth. And to answer your community, Commissioner Purnell, regarding the alleyway, today our garage bays are open to the alley. So we're going to be closing all those walls in, and it's going to actually have an improved traffic flow through that area. So it'll be much easier and less congested because we won't have cars that we service sitting in the alleyway.
And thank you for that explanation. Did the commissioners have any additional questions for the applicant?
No questions.
I do have a question of the applicant. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying the alcohol. I appreciate that. Do you have, or would you, be adverse to adding another condition or clarifying or, modifying condition number 6, saying no single serving or one can sales shall be made on the premises. A sign will always be maintained at the register. What about on the refrigerator doors? At the register puts too much pressure on the cashier who might be in a hurry, but on the refrigerator doors and at the register. Because we do have a problem downtown, and I just want to try to minimize any more.
Right, and we don't oppose to that condition. I think it's a reasonable request. I have seen them on several cooler doors from other applicants. So it's just a sticker that goes on the window of the door. But I just want to also add, too, that we have lockable cooler doors. So if we feel that somebody comes in and is intoxicated from somewhere else, that we have the ability to lock those cooler doors and to stop those cells to going out into the community or running out or doing it. So, I mean, they're a family-owned business. So I want to add that they're very professional, and they keep a well performance store. So they are cognizant to that. They've had alcohol in their stores for quite some time. So I agree with what you're saying.
Okay, thank you. And I'm glad you're adding a kitchen. That's a great addition. Thank you.
Right.
Are there any additional questions?
I had a question. So if the alcohol sales are going to be restricted from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., what would the hours of operation be?
They're a 24-hour operation with gasoline, so they'll still be running their 24-hour operation.
So the restaurant would be open 24 hours a day?
And no, the restaurant will be closed.
They're going to be limited
Yeah,
on the
the-
restaurant. So
yeah.
the main focus is for breakfast, lunch, and some evening dinner sales. So, but we'll probably operate from 6 till 10, 6 to 10.
And with the augmentation of a kitchen, does that require additional permits in terms of scratch cooking on-site? Or is the Chicken King provider bringing everything from the
It
outside?
requires a kitchen, so it will require a health permit. So that would be the only additional permits unless the city requires them to do something differently.
And as planning, can we
Through
approve
building.
that if they don't have a current permit?
Well, we do have a health permit currently, and we're just, it's for prepackaged foods, and we're going to be upping that to
Right, so
fresh meat.
because we're adding in the chicken, so when we're serving something, instead of it being prepackaged, to go, they will have to have that kitchen and the sinks in order to be able to do that. And I believe that the health permit will update that as they come in back into the store to update the permits.
And has there been any conversation with the neighbors nearby? So I know that there's quite a few restaurants on that street. Was there any pushback?
No, we haven't had any pushback. We've had more than, we've actually had customers coming and asking us to sell craft beer. But we have not had any opposition from the neighborhood. They're welcoming the fact that we're going to be carrying more food items in our store, as well as the chicken for them to go be able to get a full meal. So we're trying to make it as pedestrian friendly as possible. So we want to capture that clientele, not just the ones that are coming in for gasoline and going into the market. Because most of our customers are overturned, but we want to be able to offer, and that's a part of our setup to bring in the chicken, was to get more of the neighborhood to be able to walk in, get some chicken, take it back home.
I think my question was more along the lines of business owners, because I know that there's a few new providers of food on that street.
Right.
Come on up. We'd like to bring up Chris, the owner of the
He's there
site.
on the premise
And
all the
he's
time.
there all the time.
How you doing, commissioners? I'm Chris. I'm one of the property owners and operators. That's Alex. He's my business partner and operator as well. Basically, we have a lot of customers that come to our site daily, and we just want to be able to provide what they're asking for. We got down there, we've been down here for 10 years. I'm not sure if everybody here remembers that site. Prior to us coming in, it was pretty bad. So I think we've turned it around, and we brought E85 to the station, which is huge for Monterey County. We're the first ones to bring it to the county, and we do really well. So we just get a whole bunch of people that come in and ask us for stuff, and we just want to.
And the property owners that are around you, how did they?
Oh, they're in full support. I think over the last 10 years, since we got there and has made all the changes, it's brought so much traffic to that downtown area that we're starting to see Otto's Bakery, Bruges. These are just, what's happening is on that corner, it's just becoming bustling, if that's the right word. So, yeah, I'm sure you guys drive by on Monterey and see it. It's a good-looking place now, and we hired Tammy and Sherry to kind of take us to the next level. And yeah, and I know you guys are seeing the PowerPoint presentation, but their final product is off the charts. So there's a reason why we hired Tammy. She's here from LA. You just don't see the final product out of other consultants or companies, and that's why she's here today. I guess you guys won't be let down. If that's the right way.
She's the best in the business.
Yeah, she is. So.
Thank you. Does that answer your question, Commissioner Purnell?
So.
It's a very substantial investment into the community, so we want to make sure what we're offering the community is a good fit too.
Okay,
So,
thank you all.
Thank you so much.
All right, so Commissioners, are there any additional questions to Mr. Wiles or the city staff?
No questions.
No further questions.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
No questions.
Commissioner Purnell?
Questions?
I just had a question. I was curious, so if they when Commissioner Ruck mentioned adding a condition, like how does that work? Would it be added or just made as a statement?
I think it would be, and I kind of defer to Courtney and Chris, but I think would probably the resolution be amended to include that language to modify the condition.
If it's not a condition, it's not enforceable. So if it's the wish and the desire of the planning commission to add or modify a condition, now would be the time.
Yeah,
Okay, so we add it into the motion, in other words. Okay.
yeah.
All right, so with that, is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion for approval with the modifications to condition number 6, that signs be on the refrigerator doors and at the register. And thank you.
I second the motion.
All right, we have a first from Commissioner Ruck with modification and a second from Commissioner Gutierrez. Should we restate we need to change the motion before we vote?
That'd be good.
With her I'm asking for do you have the clarification as to what we'd be changing it to specifically?
So the motion is to approve the resolution finding the project exempt and that signs be added to the refrigerator and the cash register. Is that correct?
Is
Signage?
that correct, Commissioner Ruck?
Condition number 9.
I think what the sign needs to say is more important that the signs be added. No single serving or one can sales of alcoholic beverages can be made from the premises, both in Spanish and English, on the refrigerator doors and at the register. Thank you.
Yeah,
So for clarification, you're referring to condition number 9, but also heard condition number 6. Are we modifying both conditions? Or are we just plugging in language regarding the sign that's currently in condition number 9 to include that sign be affixed to the coolers?
Yeah, the language is, no single serving or one can sales of alcohol beverages shall be made from the premises assigned to the effect in English and Spanish, shall be maintained at the cashier station and then and on the cooler doors at all times.
Thank you.
So we really don't need to change condition number 6. We're just talking about condition number 9.
9, yeah,
with the
number
added
9, number
language.
6.
Just to make sure staff understands how to implement this.
Courtney, I'm not sure what you're looking at. I'm sort of lost here on number 9. Number 9 says basically all business owners and managers shall complete a program certified with alcohol department.
It's page 3 of 12.
You're looking at the staff report. I would suggest looking at the conditional use permit. That would be where the conditions end up.
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you.
It's on page 3 of 12. In the staff report, this is more or less a summary of conditions that are coming from various places, such as the police
Got
department.
it, thank you. I'm fine with it.
So
Okay, so the motion is to approve, but adding the number 9 of page 3 of 12 to add the location in addition on the refrigerators. Okay. All right, with that, can we have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Rocamora?
Yes.
Commissioner Ruck?
Yes.
Commissioner Gutierrez?
Yes.
Commissioner Purnell?
Yes.
Chairperson McKelvey Day?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. So conditional use permit 2024 through 065. Conditional use permit 2024-065, request to expand an existing convenience store with a Type 20 off-sale ABC license into an existing vehicle repair bay located at 201 Monterey Street in the mixed-use Central City Overlay, Downtown Core Overlay Area MX-CC-DC zoning district. The Planning Commission has just approved the request for a conditional use permit, which cannot be issued for 10 days. During this 10-day period, any person having standing to do so under the law who is aggrieved by this action or decision may file an appeal with the Community Development Department located at 65 West Alisal. And just to note that that did include the addition. All right, thank you. So under other business, we have General Plan Steering Committee update.
There's no update at this time. We should see the public review draft coming out end of this month.
All right, thank you. And any follow-up reports?
I do have one follow-up report. In the minutes from the last meeting, June 18, I believe it was, there was a request from Commissioner Meeks, who's not here today, to provide clarification on the time extension process in terms of what I believe to be, in terms of timing of the time extension process. The commission may recall that 11 Hill Circle was the topic of a time extension recommendation from Planning Commission to Council. And what we wanted to do is clarify the process for a time extension. In this particular case, once the time extension is received and deemed complete, there is a 60-day automatic extension to the map. So if the map were about to expire, it's automatically given 60 days per state law and the subdivision regulations. And then the staff goes to Planning Commission, and then after Planning Commission, I think it's 45 days to City Council. So that process is still playing out. I think it's scheduled for next week. I want to say the 12th of August.
So then, Courtney, just for clarification in my own little brain, so they don't start the year running until the year running or the extension until the council takes action.
Well, what happens is at the council, it adds 1 year to the map, which in this case brings it to, I think it's April of 2026. So that the date of approval by council is the anniversary date, and that date doesn't change. It just keeps adding 1 year to that date. So
Okay.
it's going to be April 16.
Right. But
keep
it's not the
forgetting.
date that it was deemed complete. It's not the date that you brought it to us. It's the date after the council takes action.
From the original approval of the map 5
Yes.
years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so that anniversary date is always the same. We
Okay.
just increment by 1 more year. In this case, it's the last year.
Okay. I hope they
No
get
more
it done.
extensions after this one.
Okay. Thank you.
I had a question about the minutes from the joint session. If they would be presented to us, or what was the process, if we were supposed to review them and approve them?
I have yet to receive a response from the city clerk's office on the minutes for that meeting. This is
Okay,
the
if we
June 10th joint meeting.
Yeah. His staff reached out to the clerk's office, I think, yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, to find out the status of those minutes.
Okay, if we could keep it as an item to follow up on the next meeting then too. And then I had just something I realized right now, it was not, I know the Zoom is a little new for us, but during the public hearing, I didn't do it, and it wasn't indicated for me to reach out to Zoom. I'm assuming there was nobody on Zoom wanting to make a comment?
I didn't see a raised hand feature.
Okay, but I didn't ask either, so I don't know if there's anybody on Zoom, if we missed something there, but we'll just want to be mindful to add it to the minutes.
Yes.
Or not in minutes, but my
Usually at the
outline.
beginning of the meeting, when we call for public comment for items that are not on the agenda, we'll make like a blanket statement that if you want to provide public comment, that you use the raise hand feature in Zoom. But I can add it to each section.
Yeah, because
if
I
you'd
think
like.
as we're going through the flow, the person could be waiting for their turn, and then here we moved on and voted, and they didn't get an opportunity to,
Yes.
we didn't reach out and say, is there anybody on Zoom that wants to make a comment on this item? Because we've told them in the beginning, don't make a comment till your turn. You know what I mean? So if we could just add it as something, some kind of indicator, and Zoom or something, you know? That would help. Yes, okay.
Can I ask a follow-up question too? In terms of logistics, are there commission bylaws with attendance requirements and participation from commissioners?
The question about the bylaws regarding what kind of?
Attendance?
Yes,
Yes.
there are minimum qualifications to maintain a planning commissioner seat. It's embedded in the bylaws, yes. And we go over that during the orientation. I can't remember the exact percentages. Maybe Myra has those off the top of her head. Yeah, attendance is reported.
75%.
Thank you.
And what's the time frame if that attendance is not met?
The time frame, if it's not met, once you fall below that number, you can be removed or modified, or it's up to the pleasure of the council member, basically.
So the council would have to initiate that?
And just to add to that, we do provide quarterly attendance reports to the city clerk's office, who relays this information to the city council and reviews these.
Got it. Thank you.
So we should be mindful with less meetings, we should be attending whenever there is a meeting. We could fall behind really quick.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Sure.
Public convenience and necessity would be served by the issuance. We didn't actually make that determination, did we? Did we do this?
Yes, it's embedded in the resolution.
Thank you. Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Making sure.
Yeah. We added that in there just in case. We don't know what's going to happen with the ABC licensing. It's a delegation of authority from the council to the planning commission for that service or that finding. And you just never know what's going to happen at the state alcohol licensing section when they go for some sort of an amendment. So it's covered.
Okay, good, thank you, because I realized we didn't say that, so it's covered, it's fine.
Yeah, it's embedded, yes.
Don't want poor people have to come back or something. Ooh.
Okay, any future agenda items?
Yeah, I have one of those coming up here. It looks like September 3rd, I believe, is the date. City staff received an appeal of a Dave and Buster's, what we call commercial recreation. It's like an arcade, restaurant, alcohol project. This was administratively approved by staff, and it was appealed. So this will be coming to the Planning Commission September 3rd.
Anything else? Reports, or are we off until September?
Well, there's always the chance of a protest or an appeal. We're processing conditional use permits on a daily basis, and you never know what's gonna come up next. Nothing right now. That is
Okay.
the forecast at this time.
So the next regular Planning Commission meeting is scheduled for August 20th. Who will be able to attend this meeting? Yes, okay. Okay, thank you, and I'm sure Myra will reach out for the other commissioners to seek attendance. And with that, the meeting is adjourned.